So our first generation iPad Pro finally died. It won't hold a charge anymore. And an iPad with a bad battery is kind of useless, isn't it? This is our replacement, the fourth generation 2020 Apple iPad Pro. You know, I hate that they don't call it just the iPad 4 Pro or some other name that lets you know what model it is. It's so confusing. So this is the 12.9-inch version, which technically has an 11-inch screen. There's also an 11-inch version with a 9.74-inch screen. Apple is so confusing. Anyways, both Pro versions feature a liquid retina display with ProMotion, True Tone, and P3 wide color, whatever that is, funny names, for a very good, bright, colorful screen. So let's talk specs. The 812Z Bionic chip with a neural engine is actually faster than most Chromebooks and many mid-range PCs. It's got Wi-Fi 6, which is faster, more reliable, and more secure. 4-speaker audio with what they call 5 studio-quality microphones. Now, technically, they can't be studio quality at this size, but they do a pretty good job canceling ambient noise. The speakers are surprisingly perky for little guys. It's got a USB-C connector for charging and accessories. Really helpful to have a standardized connector. Support for the Magic Keyboard, Smart Keyboard Folio, Apple Pencil, and also, like any other iPad, it works with all sorts of Bluetooth appliances. Now, the camera really shines. It's a 12-megapixel wide camera and a 10-megapixel ultra-wide camera that work together through the software with a LiDAR scanner for super high-resolution photos and awesomely clear 4K video. Basically, this means it's new glass that captures some really cool pictures with depth of field thanks to that LiDAR scanner. LiDAR is light detection and ranging. It's a method that uses light in the form of pulsed invisible lasers to measure ranges and distances. So it's really good for augmented reality, depth of field, and games like Pokemon. Those sorts of things. So check out these pictures we took with our iPad Pro. And it's got a selfie cam with a 7-megapixel true depth front camera featuring Face ID for secure authentication and Apple Pay, which is really nice. I don't know if you go anywhere and actually pay with this device. It's more apt for a phone, but I guess some people do it. Maybe you just want a really big phone. I don't know. Up to 10 hours of battery life. That's proving to be true. I think this one has about 12 so far, so that's great. The one thing you'll notice is there is no home button. Everything is now done by swiping. You swipe up, swipe down, swipe sideways, swipe from the corners. Different functions, different places where you swipe do different things. So if you're like us and coming from an older iPad, it's going to take a little getting used to figure out where everything else still works the same way. It's just there is no home button, so now you need to swipe from a corner or something to figure out how to get there. So it takes a couple days, you get used to it. It's really no big deal. So the 12.9-inch iPad Pro starts, well, just under $1,000 or 128 gigabytes. It'll probably come down when the new versions come out. If you just stream, do social media, and play a few games, then the lower memory iPad Pros are going to be fine. It works really well. You should get a case with it. I mean, with this type of investment, you want to protect it. God forbid you drop it without a case. They have some really neat cases that Apple makes that protects the screen and the camera, and they're magnetic. I don't know how they'll do on a drop test. We're not going to do that. I can't afford to do that, but it is possible that it will protect the iPad Pro in the event of a drop. It's better than nothing. That's what, anyway. So yeah, this is the iPad Pro. We love these things. You can work in your bed with it. It's a lot lighter and a lot more convenient than a laptop. It doesn't generate as much heat, and the screen is beautiful. I know with some of the newer iPads, you can get a year free subscription to Apple TV, which is really nice, like a whole year of free Apple TV. And they've got some pretty good shows on there, too, so you might want to check those out. iPad Pro, 4th generation. We love this thing. Use it, take it with us everywhere, and the cameras are incredible.